I'm playing Minecraft with a mod to make me really tiny. How tiny? This tiny. Let's start off by making a house. This might be harder than I thought. We can't even climb up any block. Once we go down a block, we're stuck at that level. And once we're at sea level, or we fall in a cave, there's nowhere left to go. That's when it hit me. I'm over 6 feet tall in real life. I don't know what it's like to be tiny, but I do know tiny people in real life. So I asked them how they get up to places that are too high for them to reach. And they told me, ladders. Of course, a tiny person's crutch for when there are no tall people around. Finally, we can play Minecraft kinda normally. As we get materials for more ladders to build our house, night falls. Luckily for us, most mobs can't see us. But here's where we meet our worst enemy, spiders. With this tiny of a health bar, we die pretty much instantly. And if you die while tiny, forget about getting your stuff back. 100 block distance is basically across the country. After a bunch of attempts, I managed to gather enough materials to build myself a house. And here it is. It might be a little too big for me to use. I can barely even get on the bed. Yeah, this house isn't gonna work for us. So, back to the drawing board. I need a tiny house. And to make a tiny house, I'm gonna need tiny tools. And the only way to get those is by mining. If we were normal size, that'd be pretty easy. But at this size, the only way to get around and get out of a cave is by using a lot of ladders. If I go too far in and use too many ladders, then I have no way out of the cave. What I really need is a reusable ladder. Then, it hit me. I can make a reusable ladder using a water bucket. By getting some iron near the surface and grabbing a water source block, I have a ladder I can reuse infinitely. With this, and some spare ladders just in case, I can finally start mining for lapis, iron, and all the usual stuff. After I leave the cave, I'm met with the realization that I need a piece of string to craft my tiny tools. The only way I'm gonna get that is by killing a spider. Here's where I realize that I can use my water bucket in more than one way. I've used it to climb so far, but I can put it down and use it to keep spiders away from me. Even with this, sometimes the spider will break through the water and kill me anyways, but eventually I got a couple of good hits in and the string is mine. Now, with our tiny tools, we're finally ready to make a tiny house. But the mod is kind of complicated, so I had to learn how it worked real quick. But once I did, I finally managed to create my dream home. After about 6 hours, multiple failed attempts, and deaths to spiders. Tiny people sure have it hard.